Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to M.A.D. Right, now we've all seen what, get me words out now. We've all seen what's been going on up in the sky, haven't we? Like with, you know, with all these UFOs and drones apparently, and you know, it's been all over the place, isn't it? New Jersey, Italy, well, it's all over America, some places, and you know, they've been seeing all these Air Force bases, you know, like military places and stuff. So this is all nuts. So I've got a little video here. It's UFO sightings that terrify Italy, right? Not so long ago either. So check this out with me and let me know what you think. Leave a comment, you know, in the box below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe if you like the content I stick out. So yeah, here we go. Let's have some of this. Let's have some of this, peeps.
Oggetto volante non identificato, or OVNI.
Buongiorno.
Now, we all know how to say UFO in Italian. And after you see this next video, you'll never need reminding. It's January 9th, 2017, and we're in the heel of the Italian boot.
The old stiletto.
At 7:38 p.m., Lucio Margiotta, a teacher at the Music Academy of Salento, records something strange in the sky.
Guarda tuo cellulare che sto fermo.
A glowing orb appears to bob in the sky. Then it slowly expands into an elongated cigar-like shape.
Wow.
Si sta aprendo.
And continues to expand until it forms a circular donut.
Oh wow.
Oh mio Dio, signore.
The light phases or shifts from a greenish hue to white. Then the light reverts back to its original shape and color before fading away.
No, guarda, mo adesso si è fatta di nuovo.
When we look to the skies, there are certain things that we expect to see there. A really bright star, a drone, a satellite.
It's not a drone!
What we're seeing in this video doesn't look like any of those things.
Lucio's video is just the latest in a millennia of strange sights over Italy.
Crazy.
Roman myth is rife with the gods behaving in strange ways that would often resemble odd lights in the sky.
The Roman historian Livy wrote of phantom ships seen gleaming in the sky. Classical paintings depict what appear to be flying saucers. And it didn't stop in the Renaissance.
I mean, this is nuts.
In October 1954, UFOs actually stopped a football game in Italy. 10,000 people witnessed some strange ships up in the sky.
Then in December of 1978, the New York Times reported a rash of donut-shaped objects spotted in the skies over Italy. So we have a wide variety of Italian OVNI, and there are other accounts like this one from Oregon of lights undergoing shape and color shifts like the one Lucio reported. So what exactly is happening in the Italian skies?
I don't think it's just the Italian skies, buddy. I mean, it's all over the world, mate.
We've seen mystery rings in the sky before, but those turned out to be emissions from nearby smokestacks. They didn't emit any light. So let's turn to our expert in all things weather-related, Deanna Hintz.
The weather was pretty calm with only scattered clouds, so there wasn't anything really happening during this particular time to suggest any kind of electrical activity from, say, a thunderstorm or something like that.
Hintz considers if it could be related to rings that form around the sun called halos and sundogs. There are similar ones around the moon.
Light passing from either the sun or the moon is bent and refracted by ice crystals that are very high up in the atmosphere, and you will see a sometimes brilliant halo around that light source.
Some look almost like UFOs with one big difference.
But you would still see the source of the light, either be it the sun or the moon, in the center of that halo, whereas here in this video, that center light source is blocked.
Astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio notes that Lucio is zoomed into his camera's maximum magnification.
Maximum lightage,
any
please.
distortions in the image.
It was shot with a cell phone camera.
Wow.
And they're just not that good at taking nighttime photographs. The camera itself may have some junk on the lens.
Okay.
See, as it goes in and out of focus, okay, it's almost like there's moisture on the lens, and he's just getting some video artifacts. I mean, if there's any kind of moisture on the lens, you can actually create some really kaleidoscopic objects from your camera.
But while D'Antonio says that lens issue might create the circle image and the phasing, he still can't pinpoint the original source of that light in the sky. He rules out a laser or spotlight because they would have to reflect off the clouds.
Okay.
And it was a clear night. Beyond that, he's stumped.
I'm not saying that it's not an actual unidentified flying object. So it's a mystery. We don't know what it is exactly.
Very weird. Very weird.
There's currently no official explanation for this video from the Italian government. If the light came from a drone, a plane, or a helicopter, you would think they would have said so. So our verdict, a genuine ovni. And in the absence of any further evidence, this object remains unidentified. November 2021.
It's an ovni.
A passenger on a train speeding through the Italian countryside notices something strange outside his window and starts recording.
Oh, wow.
3 orange
Wow.
lights in a triangular formation floating in the air above the horizon.
God, blimey. Look at that.
Let's zoom in. The lights not only appear to be orbs, but they're also glowing. The video is uploaded to social media and quickly becomes a sensation.
A lot of the comments on the video obviously linked this light pattern to the typical triangular UFO, making claims that this was some sort of alien spacecraft.
Brilliant.
Journalist M.J. Benaya says that kind of reaction shouldn't be surprising.
Italy has a fairly rich UFO history. In the early 1950s, an entire soccer game was actually stopped in the city of Florence when a crowd of 10,000 people in the stadium looked up and saw a handful of strange oval-shaped UFOs fly over them.
Even before then, a UFO crash in 1933 allegedly became the catalyst for a secret program led by one of Italy's most notorious figures.
Some people believe that Mussolini, the famed Italian dictator, had a secret UFO hunting program. The idea was that in 1933, a UFO crashed in Italy, and Mussolini allegedly hired famed radio pioneer Guglielmo Marconi to figure out what this technology was and whether it could be weaponized.
What? First thing on his mind.
The Italian Center for UFO Studies documented almost 10,000 cases over a 50-year period. And we reported on some of them, including this anomalous event we investigated last year. Could this triangle be something related? We asked for our expert's opinion. We begin with forensic video analyst Michael Primo. Our first question, has the footage been manipulated in any way?
Yeah, right.
The lights appear to be real, at least to my naked eye when analyzing it frame by frame, but what the encoder is saying using macro block analysis is that this information in this green color is different than this information in this green color. So it's a possibility that some use of CGI was added to this recording based on the macro block analysis, but no definitive conclusions can be drawn at this time.
Acknowledging that red flag, we take the video to astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio to see if this could be a plane.
I don't think that this one here is an aircraft, because an airplane light of this brightness would be the landing lights, and airplanes generally have 2 landing lights, if not just 1 in some cases, not 3. Now, you could say, well, is this a stack of aircraft, one farther from the other, making a logical triangle from this perspective? But these lights look all the same brightness, and if you stack up planes like that, the furthest plane away is going to be several miles behind the first plane in the lines. Will look a little bit dimmer and smaller than the one in front.
D'Antonio rules out any commercial or military aircraft, but he does believe there is a clue to the mystery in the video.
If you also look carefully, when this train is moving, it passes a sign along the way. The sign is being held up by 2 legs, and this object passes in front of one of those legs.
The lights don't disappear when the train passes the sign outside. D'Antonio thinks it's because this mysterious object isn't actually in front of the photographer.
I think that this is a light fixture reflected in the window from one of the adjacent train seats.
But when we ask science writer Mick West to study the video, he disagrees.
I don't think this is a reflection. For one thing, it's the only light being reflected that you can see. If it was a train with lots of people, you would expect to see more. And when the person filming it is moving the camera, you see these bits of dirt on the window move around. But when they're moving around, there's no movement at all with this object, which means that it's not a reflection.
By zooming in, Mick sees the lights are not staying in one place.
I took the video and I tried stabilizing the lights on the screen so they all stay in exactly the same position. And you can see that it's not like a single solid object. It seems to be moving somewhat independently. Another thing that you notice is that the distance between the light and the tree line gradually decreases.
So we have orange objects that appear to be slowly drifting down. West believes there's an orange light that fits the bill. Military flares.
They're attached to little parachutes, so they just basically sink down fairly slowly, and they burn for about a minute or two, and then they'll usually drop.
Our verdict? This is a toss-up. We can't explain why the lights don't pass behind the sign, but we can't call it a reflection either. We can't even say for sure it's real. The military flare theory feels right, but our experts aren't unanimous. Until we know more, we have to say this remains unidentified. December 2018, 2 German tourists are walking to the beach in the Italian port city of Catania. They're coming from a party, but it's what they see next that makes this a night to remember.
It's all a bit nuts, really, isn't it? Let's have it right. I mean, wow.
The video starts with a large glowing diamond in the middle of a black sky. It then zooms out to reveal what looks like 2 diamond-shaped UFOs. Despite their apparent lack of flight features like wings, propellers, or means of propulsion, these diamonds seem to hang steadily in the sky as the video continues on for a whopping 6 minutes. Investigative journalist M.J. Benaya says Italy is no stranger to alien visitations.
In 1978, a security guard by the name of Pierre Fortunato Zanfretta claimed that he saw a strange UFO object and was subsequently abducted by aliens. He agreed to go on television and to be hypnotized live in front of an audience.
Solo la mia voce potrà rievocare in te, su mia precisa richiesta, i tuoi ricordi.
Zanfretta even offered to take pentothal, which is known as truth serum, and he described strange encounters with triangular UFOs and alien abductions and a whole array of different strange alien encounters.
Now, the truth about truth serums is they've never been officially proven effective, much less ethical. But can this video of inexplicable flying objects over Italy finally prove the reality of Zanfretta's experiences? Our experts take a closer look. First, we turn to our video forensic analyst, Michael Primo, to determine if the footage is even real.
No evidence of digital alteration was detected, no CGI was detected, and the operator was essentially trying to record something that didn't get recorded accurately, in my opinion. So the result is inconclusive at this point.
Next, we take them to astronomer and visual effects designer Mark D'Antonio to determine if we could be looking at a UFO or some other flying vehicle.
If this was an aircraft, then we would expect the aircraft to change its position relative to the camera and most importantly relative to the other objects in the view. They don't change. They are stationary relative to each other. So they're not aircraft, they're not drones, they're not balloons, they're not other strange military craft. And we know these aren't satellites because satellites move across the sky. These are just locked stationary.
Under closer investigation, D'Antonio determines that the diamond-shaped lights seen in the video may not be what they appear to be at all.
The diamond shape has to do with the shape of the iris of the camera, which is the actual shape inside the camera of the little leaves that make the shutter stop down or get smaller and get wider. And when you go out of focus, the light is spread across the entire sensor, but it's eclipsed by the edges of that iris shape.
The effect is known as bokeh.
And if the iris shape is a diamond, you'll see a diamond. If it's a different shape, you'll see a different shape. In this case, it's a diamond.
Well, we learn something new every day, don't we? Eh? God, crazy.
So if this alleged diamond-shaped UFO isn't even diamond-shaped, what is it? D'Antonio thinks he spotted a clue.
It's a rectangle on an edge.
There are lights in question here, but if you look down further, there's more lights going all the way down. If you draw a line between them logically, there is a slope here. And I believe what we're looking at are lights on the ground. But the person taking the image doesn't understand where the horizon is and where the local horizon is. They don't realize that maybe there's a hill here and that their lights are a little bit elevated on the hill. They may think they're in the sky, but they're actually ground lights.
Our verdict? Unidentified ground lights. We looked, but were unable to determine exactly where in Catania, Italy, this footage was taken to compare it to the landscape in the daytime. But D'Antonio's analysis appears to fit the facts in our mind. Most likely, we're looking at cars or street lights. As for Zanfretta's experiences, we're leaving that case open for further investigation.
So there you go. What do you think? I mean, you know, it could be sometimes that when you take a photograph with your phone, it's, you know, the AI might mix into your photograph, which is, you know, it will show you, you know, it could be that, I don't know, whatever you're taking a picture of, it sort of gives you more of an image of it, possibly. I don't know. But what I do believe is that we ain't alone. There's no way we're alone. I do have some other UFO footage videos that I'm going to be putting out, so there'll be a couple more after this one. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, and leave a little message for me, yeah, and let me know what you think. And in the meantime, you take care of yourselves, all right? Look after each other. Love you loads. God bless.